you to the popular Pandas. Also, thank you to Sheepstick, Kezu, Tsunami, and the greatest voice actor of our generation. Shout out to Pyrian Flax, the voice of the Tower God.
The voice of the elderly.
And that too, and all bald men around the world.
Damn.
Collective voices.
He is a voice of a lot of people.
He's a very important figure in...
Of billions.
Yes, that's actually probably true.
Actually, definitely true.
Yeah, there's many bald people.
All elderly and all bald people combined are billions of people.
Oh yeah,
yes.
many billions. That's multiple billions, actually.
Do you know how many people live in the world?
That's probably like 8 billion at this point.
So what's multiple billions?
Multiple billions is more than one.
So 2.
No.
Okay.
That's a couple.
Okay.
Multiple could be
3?
anything greater than 1.
Okay, so it could also be 2.
It could be 20
I
if it went that high.
disagree. 2 is not multiple.
I didn't say it. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's more than 2. It's more than 2.
All
right.
Classic, the Sentry Ward to slowly or slightly delay the wave.
Last time this didn't work, so I want to see if they're going to block. Pakaz is blocking the creep wave in the top lane.
So talking a little bit about the lineups, we've seen Naga be considered the core counterpick to the Broodmother. You do pretty well in lane, you have high armor, you can catch the Brood later with Ensnare, you can go the Ags as well to cause further issues for the Brood. You have illusions that are able to deal with the split push that Brood offers, so you don't even need to commit a hero for it. You push out lanes, and on top of all of that, you can also contest the Brood's farm in the jungle. You're one of the only carries that is capable of doing that by just sending the illusions to farm the same camps as Brood is. So definitely a 1v1 core matchup that EG are happy to get their hands on. This was definitely pre-planned when you consider how the draft went down. They first pick Undying and left the Brood in the pool.
And what about this guy? We haven't gotten to see Mid Tiny in quite some time. Very fun hero to watch.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly to feel about this. I think his support matchups are amazing. Tiny just assassinates Pugna and Skywrath without trouble, which I think is what led C-Smile to suggest and pick this hero. The reason I was leaning to Shadow Fiend is that for this particular team in EG, we see them prioritizing Shadow Fiend a lot when they know their mid matchup and it's SF favored. They have not been shying away from it. Even if it hasn't been the perfect lineup for it outside of that, they just really love that matchup versus the other hero. And Shadow Fiend owns Storm. So that could have been an approach, but they went with the Tiny instead, and that's good news for the mid laner of 9 Pandas and Kiyotaka, who plays a really good Storm Spirit, but this time around won't have a bad lane matchup. So
yeah,
he should be off to a great start. Made a name for himself at the Berlin Major with this hero as well as Tinker. His Storm is outstanding when he's off to a good start. Last time I said that, I cursed him the hell out of the game, so we'll see if that happens this time too.
Yeah, I was expecting him to die right there, actually, but I guess your curse is not as strong as I thought.
My curse doesn't do 700 damage.
Just not yet. Just need to get some micro buffs, and then the next patch, maybe. Is Whisper playing the off-lane Katal?
Yeah, pretty much the only player in the world that does this, I feel like. Almost every other team, when they grab it, they put it on 4, but EG love putting it on Whisper, played with Vestal, play Tempo. Matthew is in some serious trouble here.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's
definitely okay. Pops the Fairy Fire, going down the path of no resistance.
And you said that with so much confidence.
Yeah, because I know these things until I don't.
Yes, it's relatable. Me with literally anything.
So why does he like? Why does he? That's the correct pronunciation of that word. Why is he the only one that plays Coddle offlane? We saw a lot of this here early in the patch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some nerfs came about, of course.
Some players just have their, their individual flair on certain things. Whisper is an amazing offlane Coddle player, so definitely if they think it's a good game for it, they will not hesitate.
Yeah, and I
don't
say
know why others aren't doing. I'll say that.
The Chakra Magic this game will probably be used a lot onto the Tiny. Yeah. Relatively low cooldowns on the nukes for the Avatos.
That's a good point. That's another part of why they would pick Tiny over Shadow.
But it isn't the most usual mana giver. Givey? Yeah, givey.
I think there's a better word for that. Maybe recipient, for example.
No, I like givey quite a bit. I've learned something. When you get old, you just don't give a shit anymore. And I never gave a shit to begin with, so you just invent words and you just stick with it. That's how words are invented.
When you passed 50, you give negative shits.
Yeah.
To keep this trajectory up.
Can't wait for that. If I make it there, that is. Yep, denied of a rune here. Matthew.
He's in trouble, though.
Yep,
Solo.
charge into Blood Grenade, puts down the Nether Ward, and C-Smile. Is he actually going to pursue this, or will he just farm up the ward?
Didn't quite get enough body blocks there on Matthew.
That's 25 gold for the ward that Kiyotaka will deny. Solo
No
trying
bad.
to TP out, will be fine. Electric Vortex now finding C-Smile. He's going to get some help via the charge, set up by the Avalanche to start it out. C-Smile will live, but now we got more members of EG. Nice blocking onto Kiyotaka. Avalanche, that's the toss, wrong one. It's been a while since I cast that hero. As they're actually going to get the first blood onto Kiyotaka. Very nicely done. Did require Whisper, the offlaner, to make an appearance, but they'll take it.
There's no one bottom for EG for like a solid minute, basically. Ramsey's looking for potential.
It's like, where's everybody?
Like, oh, that's what the action was. Well, back to farming, I guess. I mean, he's the big winner in all of that. He got to lane 1v0 for a full minute, so cleaning up this bot lane without any issues.
Yeah.
And the first blood did go the way of, I believe it was Whisper who got it, right? So yeah, so the Coddle getting a nice influx of gold to work toward what I assume will still be his standard build with the Vessel, and looks like it is indeed the case. But he might go Travels first.
Oh, Panda was getting gone on by Antares, but now we have a charge from Matthew. Tombstone comes out, and down goes the Skywrath. Kiyotaka trying to farm up the Tombstone, but the deny comes out. Speaking of the Tombstone, I made it to 5 minutes and 42 seconds before mentioning grab ally this game, Cinderin. And of course, the reason we're seeing it a lot is because of the Tormentors. This game, the saves for what? The Rupture, pretty good.
Yeah, it's good against Skywrath.
Skywrath, if you get the stun lock. Avalanche toss, speaking of which, onto Kiyotaka, not quite level 6, but he's going to get some help from Antares, and Solo making an appearance as well, which means C-Smile is the recipient
There you go.
of that death. He received death. Good English.
The Givey of Netherblast, the recipient of death.
That's
Very
right.
poetic.
Sounds like a cool hero name, actually.
The Givey.
The Givey of Death. That's probably what the beta name of Muerta was. Ramsey's getting charged. We'll take an Illuminate. Nope, will not. But he's level 5, about to hit level 6 here very shortly. See if they can set something up with that Rupture. As Kiyotaka is going to have to go bottle a bounty rune here. And see if he tries to gank now that his ult is available. See Smile starting out with the phase boots, and I would assume this is just a Blink Dagger build for the mid lane.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
And what were we seeing towards the end of the last patch with Tiny after this? Like, remember Echo Saber potentially sometimes?
A lot of the time it was Ags. You just went for the long-range artillery late-game build with Ags Daedalus. Because? Well,
Getting chased by Miero. Yeah. The Riptide,
he's screwed.
Doing a little bit, but not nearly enough. He's just casually killed by Miero. Not a whole lot needed. TP's coming out as a charge. Is going to hit Antares, but Matthew rethinking his priorities. But now that C-Smile has showed up, the Avalanche was there. And the toss will ensure the death of the Spider.
They brought their whole team up here.
Now,
that's a 4-man rotation.
Since we have seen Echo Saber on Tiny, is this a hero that can go for Harpoon? Because I haven't seen that.
No, I think he's one of the heroes that benefits the absolute least from it, actually.
We have a fight here. Toss back. Avalanche hits literally nothing, actually. Solo's going to throw out another blast as we have so many members of both respective teams in this mid lane.
So the reason I don't think the Harpoon is particularly good on Tiny is, yes, you can pull enemies toward yourself and Eva toss them, but the heroes that generally want the Harpoon are heroes that want to stick, right? Tiny doesn't really stick on his targets. He gets one big combo off.
And he goes in and out, yeah.
And then that kills them or it doesn't, but he doesn't want to just stand still in the fight and stand and deliver. He's kind of like a resetting-based hero a lot. And if you do want to stand and deliver, I still don't think you get enough value out of the Harpoon, because you're buying the dagger anyway to get in position. Then I think you'd rather just have more in your burst than the Harpoon would offer.
Yep.
But we'll see. Maybe there's something to be experimented with.
That makes good sense. For once, coming from you.
Thank you for listening for once.
What'd you say?
I mean, otherwise you can't justify whether I made a good point or not if you didn't hear it.
Oh, we have a charge. Other side of the map onto Miero. Nice Ancient Seal onto C Smile. Is going to prevent this combo to start things out, but he does get the Avalanche eventually. The TP from Kiyotaka comes into play. Not quite enough damage to take out Miero, but the Avalanche, the toss. I said it again, for God's sake, Cinderin.
My bad.
Stop putting thoughts into my mind. Miero does fall despite the rotations from 9 Panda. Ancient Seal going to provide some extra magic damage and for Kiyotaka, but he's taking so much damage from that Illuminate. Now has very little mana to speak of, and thus will not be able to zip out. Panda will die, but so will Antares. So ends up being a 3-for-1. Double kill for C Smile, and EG very, very happy.
EG's lineup right now is extremely explosive. Caudle plus Tiny can kill anyone on the map together. And you bet they will. They're going to keep running around. They can combine with the Spirit Breaker of Matthew. Maybe a little bit of an overlooked part of their overall strategy here is just how fast this can actually go. If they keep looking for opportunities with these Caudle travels as well as the Tiny, having constant max mana with the Caudle as well. It's not an easy map to travel out onto for the 9 Pandas. And we've had a couple of games this tournament where one team just absolutely dominates the map from early rotations. This could maybe become one of those.
Yeah, but in terms of net worth, not a big difference at the moment. And then again, from both teams' side, the one hero that does need a ton of farm before really wanting to fight is the Naga Siren. As the cow is chopped apart in the mid lane by Kiyotaka. And they're going to use this siege unit to try to pressure this tier 1.
2 points and another blast.
Oh, the zip on to Whisper. Looking for an opening. Electric Vortex is there, but Panda's Tombstone and Grotesque Form scare off Kiyotaka.
Yeah, nice from Kiyotaka there. He forced a lot. And it's not going to cost him anything. He's playing with Pugna, so... A gas station is available.
Yep, mana is cheap.
It is.
Get it while it's hot.
Both teams with a gas station.
Yeah, but I think the problem is the vehicle, a little bit different. We have a Ferrari on this side with Storm, and then a Pinto on the Tiny. Maybe it's more of a tractor.
I'm sure he'll be very insulted to the Pinto.
See Smile. Oh, the Ancient Seal is providing so much.
Both teams with a gas station.
Yeah, but I think the problem is the vehicle, a little bit different. We have a Ferrari on this side with Storm, and then a Pinto on the Tiny. Maybe it's more of a tractor.
I'm sure he'll be very insulted to the Pinto.
See Smile. Oh, the Ancient Seal is providing so much for this lineup. They can't quite kill him, though. Finally will drop with help of the Blood Grenade, and Kiyotaka is going to be supplied some mana from Solo, but he's...
Oh my God,
is it enough to actually get away? A big blinding light comes out, though. And Kiyotaka still trying to walk away, gets some more mana, should be able to zip, although the ensnare comes out. And he's actually going to die as a result.
Yeah, he was not expecting that ensnare.
He had time to zip away for sure, but you're right. The Naga showing up, definitely catching him by surprise. Solo will not live.
And despite this being non-stop fighting, this is something I've noticed about 9 Pandas and how they play. I feel like out of most carries in this tournament, Ramses has to be one of the least involved in the first 20 minutes. In all of this, he's been completely static bottom. He has barely moved, if at all, actually. He's 0-0-0. I don't think he left the lane. And he is getting amazing farm, but in a situation like that where so many heroes drop low, Bloodseeker could have maybe joined that fight and taken 2 or even 3 kills in a very quick swoop. But yeah, that's the heat map right there of everything people were told not to do on carries 2 years ago.
He's very active.
Times have changed.
Very active in this one small area.
Yeah, his APM is probably still very high.
Oh, we have the Avatos from C Smile showing off that Blink Dagger, but
nice
you can see the Mystic Flare doing massive damage. Kiyotaka trying to finish the job, but the Blinding Light is there into the Nether Strike. Beautifully done from EG. Not only getting the support, but the mid lane Storm. Mr. Kiyotaka and Ramses. Okay, speaking of Ferraris.
Solar Bind is really good against Bloodseeker, though. It doesn't matter how much move speed you have. Solar Bind slows you to a crawl pretty quickly. They find the charge.
Yeah.
Up here?
They doesn't have another strike, though.
No follow. Just psyching him out. Maybe baiting TPs was what he was hoping for. That was the first time Ramses decided to show up, but this time around, not as good conditions as the last one. Immediately gets solar bound and just backs off. That's some hero damage right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, kind of expected building damage from the Brute.
Yeah, standard.
Arcane Rune. Kiyotaka's able to bottle it and gets a refill. How long did it take pros to catch on to this combo when this was first changed for the life drain? I feel like it was not instant, was it?
Yeah, it took quite a while, I would say.
Yeah, it's funny that these things that are just look so inherently broken. It's like, it takes them quite a while sometimes.
I mean, the thing is, you might understand that the combo is good, but it still needs to be a patch where both heroes seem viable as well, right? On top of it all.
Storm has felt viable every patch.
Yeah, Pugna has not necessarily been a great support all the time.
Okay. In certain patches, I'm sure if just that life, if he had no skills other than that, it still might be worth picking in some games. It's so good. It's so good. Solo Smoke's going to be broken. Avalanche onto 3 heroes. Toss to follow. Illuminate doing massive damage. Solo's dead. Mystic Flare is going to be spread amongst many EG members. Thus, no damage really done. So both supports dead for 9 Pandas, and the rest of these cores trying to run their little legs away. Kiyotaka. Avalanche is going to be dodged. The Arcane Rune coming in handy.
Uh-oh. Miero.
Oh, he's on the cliff. Miero. They spot him. And the Spider will be targeted, tossed back, charged into, and squashed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
PG, also known as Exterminators Galore. Take care of business against the Spider. There it is. That is somehow way worse than I would have ever imagined. Congratulations.
Good one.
I really don't want this to catch on. It's just fucking annoying.
All right, I'll stop just for you.
You guys are the worst.
Good one.
It's not only you. You can't say to everything.
Sure you can. That's the beauty of memes. You can do whatever you want. Even when it's very stupid and makes no sense, that's actually when it thrives the most. Spreads like a fungus. As C Smile's going to get initiated on Ancient Steel with the Mystic Flare. It's enough this time. Nice coordination from 9 Pandas.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
In terms of just overall game progression, Paka's the big winner here on Naga, which is pretty standard for a game of this type. But 9 Pandas are doing a good job at keeping it pretty even, and I feel like this is the kind of game that Storm has the potential to really take over. If he gets a little bit stronger, he gets the right items like a BKB, there's very little stopping him from just jumping from target to target and assassinating them. The Coddle, the Undying.
Yeah, Panda. Oh, he was spotted, but they might be able to turn this around. The silence is lasting for so long. Ensnared to follow. Big kill for EG. And now the Nether Strike catching Antares.
You're welcome for the curse.
Solar Bind into the bash.
Yeah, he needs to get there though. He didn't know that. This was just lack of information. That was a freshly revealed Orchid from Pakaz coming out of Fog. Talk about a big impact play, killing the enemy mid, getting their 4, and now getting their tower. All of this in one move with one reveal. Maybe the tower won't actually fall because he is starting to make his way over toward Ramses, but this is a little bit too far.
Matthew, you might as well get the bash off, okay? If you're going to get that close, you just wanted to make a little sniff action, but we'll back away. Oh, the zip. Very deep. Another Orchid. There's no way he can die again. Okay, he's going to get decrept. Looks like he's going to be fine. Matthew's the one in a bit of trouble, though, as the rest of 9 Pandas have come. Charges right through the Mystic Flare as Pakaz gets off the song.
Oh my god, if they have a Disruptor combo here, it'd be insane.
Disruptor not in the game, unfortunately. Kiyotaka will zip on and find Panda with the Electric Vortex, and the rest of his team not far behind.
Panda's pretty tanky here.
He is, but his team doesn't seem to want to help. The dominoes will not fall today, says EG. They lose both supports, but nothing more.
Good coverage of Kiyotaka there. He still needs to be a little bit careful.
You missing some mana, Master? Here you go. That's Pugna now.
What character is that? Well, it has to be a reference.
Just a pathetic character is what it is.
It was you in a video game.
Here you go, Master. Oh.
That was terrible. Oh my god, what a sick song. If they had any sort of combo there, that could have been crazy, but...
Oh, they have the Tombstone combo.
Yeah, not enough.
Get those zombies.
Maybe with a full-on tiny volley plus Illuminate coming out of that, that could have been something, but not quite able to follow through. So Pandas get a couple of kills, and important that Solo is in range of Kiyotaka a lot of the time to protect him. Well,
Their Orchid
is it
this
neutral?
time onto
Yes,
Pugna.
not.
Master, I'm dead. All right, I'll stop.
Run, Master. Save yourself.
I could genuinely do that the whole cast. That's gonna trigger me.
How about you just cast like that?
All right, Matthew.
Matthew
is killed.
He got killed by Kiyotaka. Nice pickup. Mira on the Brood helping out.
That's not the worst impersonation, I guess.
Of you? Or of your character?
of me. My character's offended. I'm not, though.
Okay, that's good. It takes a lot to offend you, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever offended you.
I don't know either. Probably at some point. Maybe your smell at some point. I don't know.
That's very offensive.
That can be very offensive indeed.
Now you just
Kiyotaka
offended me. Good job.
with the Impiz.
4K lead for EG. So Naga creating more and more distance, as is tradition. When she has a free game, she will outfarm most, if not all, heroes in the game of Dota 2, but she also needs to. This hero does not fare well if it's not ahead, generally speaking. So this 4K lead, while it might look really good for EG, it's not the end of the world for the side of 9 Pandas, and they have some solid mid-game potential with their heroes. If they at any point start dealing some serious spread damage with their Skywrath, with their Storm and Pugna going through the fight, Ramses could find himself in a position where he can just clean house. But we have not seen much out of him just yet relative to his net worth. Very little hero damage in the game.
We'll see if that changes.
Scion of the Storm unlocked.
That's not what it's called. Scion of something. I never remember. It's a shield. Shield of Scion, I think. Yes!
Did I say Scion
Yes!
of the Storm?
You did.
Oh.
Good effort.
Sorry, I was thinking of my favorite video game ever.
Heroes of the Storm, of course.
Very
The
good.
classic.
Did you ever play it, actually?
I did.
I think I played a couple games. It was okay.
There was one mechanic I liked. On one map, you could turn into a Dragon Knight character and you'd get replaced. Your hero gets replaced, which is really nice because I didn't like any of the heroes. As Tormentor is taken by EG now.
Planar Pocket.
Yeah, planar pocket. What can this dodge? Okay, well, there is the Rupture.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
There is Ancient Seal.
Yep.
There is Brood Ult. Very important, of course.
Decrepify.
Electric Vortex is technically single target.
Oh, Reflecting
Life Drain.
Vortex is actually huge. I think that's the biggest one of them, to be honest, if he's quick about it.
This one's going to be really hard to spot. This is not like Grab Ally where you get bigger.
Yeah.
He does get 75% magic resist
He does
for the
get
time
Pocketer,
period.
though.
Kiyotaka, his smoke breaks. He goes in really deep, instantly silenced, but the Yules now.
He's going to get charged through.
He is still stunned up, but they're going to get the Lotus on him. And C-Smile, caught on the other side of the river, tried to TP out and just dies. Panda looks like he's ruptured. He'll be brought down by 9 Pandas, and now they are continuing to aggress in this 5v3.
9 Pandas better than 1 Panda.
I really refrained from saying good one, but then I said it in a different way, I guess.
Yeah, that was an awkward way that all started. C-Smile was just in the middle of nowhere. So the Storm jumps in. I don't know. I mean, this Yules on Kiyotaka is very interesting. It's pretty uncharacteristic item for this hero to purchase like this, but he is effectively using it to jump in, get Orchided, and then save himself. And just created space in that fight for them to get on top of the Tiny. And while the Caudal as well as Spirit Breaker are busy trying to set something up on Kiyotaka, they lose their Tiny. He's the guy who needs to connect after that Yules. I actually don't think this approach from Kiyotaka is necessarily going to pay off if they play around it correctly. Both C-Smile getting flanked, and of course the Pipe. A very big deal in this game. Miero's Pipe is doing a ton of work against the Tiny and Caudal alike, so... Well...
Roche number 1, 23 minutes. This is later than we've been seeing.
The time has come.
But that's because neither team are the fastest Roche takers. But you can see the Spiderlings will spot this out, and this is not, like I said, the fastest Roche. So 9 Pandas will have an opportunity to try to contest. In fact, EG will back away temporarily. They have the song at their disposal, of course.
Yeah, EG are pretty strong in this arena. They have the Heart on Naga, first of all. And then they have Tombstone. Illuminate is really good in this part of the map as well. I personally still think Caudle might be an underrated hero in this patch with how he plays big team fights around cliffs. Oh, Solo.
Yeah,
Nice
he's going to get
force
charged. But now the cow is in quite deep. Matthew going to get stun locked. There's the song. But again, what's the follow-up here? Looks like they want to fight. Pandas is going to Orchid the Skywrath, but he gets Force Staffed immediately. And Ramses pops the BKB, focusing on Matthew for the time being. He'll get that kill. Nope. Pops the wand, stays alive a little bit longer. Eventually, Miro takes him down. Mystic Flare didn't really do very much damage, and now Antares is going to pay the ultimate price. So 1 for 1. We'll see if EG want to continue to poke at Roche, but it's just... It's a bit of a difficult line. It's not the most traditional defensive Roche lineup from 9 Pandas, but they do have some avenues to scout it out at the very least, which is probably the biggest threat with those spiders. Panda in that ult form.
This is a 5v4 currently.
Yeah. I think they're going to want to
Kyutaka's charged. They have full info.
Oh my god, the Roche is changing sides! We forgot about the day-night cycle!
And Dre!
C-Smile gets the toss back, Bloodright coming out. Will connect successfully onto C-Smile. As this fight is all over the place. Kiyotaka gets bashed up, but will zip on away. Ramsey's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get a Lotus Orb applied to him, but now he's stuck in the tree line. Avalanche, toss, killed. 60 seconds of no Bloodseeker, and through the gates they go. We'll see if 9 Pandas are still going to try to defend, as Roche not happy with having to relocate.
That was a rare instance of both teams not looking at the clock. Like, this really looks like nobody knew this was coming.
It was like a triple bash, basically.
This looked like first game on the new patch. Wait, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's just standing there. Roche, leave.
It takes so long to channel that.
Blocking the view.
His brain cells need to be added up just to put in the digits for that gate code. There are no digits. That's the joke, Cinderin.
Yep. That good one.
Thank you. Avatos from C-Smile. Kiyotaka getting charged! Oh, the Yules! And he has enough mana to zip away. Nicely done.
Close call.
So Aegis on Pakaz. They finally get Roche.
This should tell Matthew there's a ward there as well. The way he ulted him would not be possible without Flying Vision.
What is Pakaz making with a Sacred Relic?
Nullifier?
Did he buy something already?
He's got to buy Nullifier, right? He's against Pugna.
Yeah, I thought something just delivered to him, but maybe it wasn't his courier. Somebody else delivering something to Pakaz, of course, their courier. Very normal.
Here you go, Master. Oh, Lord Master, please.
Kaya-Sanj and oh, whoa, that's early, isn't it?
That is very early.
So he has Mjolnir. Bloodmist is really good against Naga, but you need to stay alive. I guess Bloodmist plus Mjolnir and you just run into her and fight. I actually think Pakaz needs to be careful with hitting the Bloodseeker and just giving him free health. You might be better off just fighting, like just locking him down but not going for the kill. I think this is going to be really interesting. It's pretty high risk, high reward from Ramses, but I like it. I like getting in that slot here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. Would you put it in that category?
Yep.
For this early?
Yep. That's exactly what I just said.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I would say that again.
Say it again then.
High risk, high reward.
Okay. Just double check.
So glad you were listening to when I said it the first time.
I definitely was. You can't prove otherwise.
No, I mean, if you were listening and then asked me to say it again, you're just weird. So it's like...
Well, you already know that I'm weird.
You kind of can't win here.
So there's the Nullifier. No buyback going to be available for Pakaz, but of course the Aegis will give him a nice safety net.
Say safety net again.
Safety net.
Oh, thank you.
And see what EG can accomplish with this Aegis, as they're going to find Kiyotaka still silenced up, but the song comes out. Okay, Tombstone placed.
It is
Grab
building
ally
up.
time. Yeah, they're going to focus down pretty damn fast. The charge is going to be able to take out the Pugna, but staying alive a little bit longer. Eventually, the Nether Strike actually looks like it was reflected, but regardless, this fight's all over the place. C-Smile dies, buys back. Mystic Flare, not enough to take out Matthew.
Radiant's middle tower.
And Kiyotaka still with half mana. He's going to get Orchided, ensnare, but able to dispel it off. But there's the Nullifier on top now. Getting charged, which was reflected. Definitely messed up his movements, and that could cost him his... does cost him his life, as Kiyotaka has no way to get back in this game. They find a spider. Triple kill for Pakaz, able to maintain Aegis.
That was a beautifully executed final kill on the Storm. So what they did was they Orchid ensnared him. He gets Lotused by the Brood, and then they instantly second Orchid plus Nullifier him in that kill. You're going to see the replay here. So Orchid from Caudle, an instant Nullifier Orchid again from Pakaz, and they get the charge. They take him down.
Yeah, beautifully done.
Big
EG
reward.
will be getting a set of racks.
More than likely here.
And still with a minute plus to spare with the Aegis. It's not the fastest building damage with just Pakaz, but still with 10 seconds left on the Broodmother. Kiyotaka trying to delay. But I think they're going to have to concede the melee racks. Pakaz not happy with that. He wants the range as well.
Don't see any reason to back off. They're going to struggle so much with killing this guy twice with the Heart, with the Nullifier. He has 34 armor and 3.7k health.
Yeah. Oh, the Rupture.
Well,
Matthew TPing out.
oh, that was real close to being able to Vortex there. Just barely too late.
Master. Sorry, I can't help it. I don't know what. I just, you said gas station, right? So he's the gas station attendant, but I look at him as like a butler, like some pathetic.
Yeah, butlers are so pathetic,
Well,
man.
for him, he's an undead, like, sorcerer. He should be cool, but all he does is give mana to people. It's like, it's a pathetic job for him. The lore is very deep in Dota.
I mean, the lore of Pugna in general is just that he wants misery for everyone, right?
Yeah, well,
He's a very
including
negative.
himself, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, they actually timed this. Really valuing the shards. 9 Pandas. Hopefully they value Kiyotaka's life, but where's his butler? Come to me.
Radiant's middle tower.
Where are you, Master?
Oh my god, it heals
It's
to full.
fully healed.
That is actually such a big loss. They
Yeah,
just
that's
wasted
a lot of time.
Both heroes have to go back to Fountain here. Miro's like doing nothing. What's he doing?
I think Solo is who they needed all along.
Yes.
The question is, who's the shard go to? They don't want it to go to Solo.
Miro.
Go to Miro. Okay. So that is the insatiable hunger damage.
Not the greatest with his build, right? He's
Yeah,
not
it's kinda
exactly
utility.
geared to be a carry in this game of any sort. We'll opt for the Titan Sliver, though, so that'll help a little bit in that direction. While also tanking him up, of course. The magic resistance, status resist is nice.
See, that is a Tormentor. If they just ignored, I would actually understand. Because one of the two heroes it was getting on it, maybe not the most important.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although, they did talk about the life drain this game against Naga. Maybe that's better than we're saying.
That's actually true. It could have its
Maybe that's
its
actually
moments.
what they wanted.
But if you life drain the ward, then you're not life draining Kiyotaka, and then it's going to be very sad.
That is true. That's his only job. He submitted his resume. Has a long list of great deeds he's done in this life and the past. But the only thing he's supposed to use is life drain on ally, which does not counteract grab ally, which is much more powerful, of course, on EG's side. Did he actually buy the shard? Panda?
I think he did that in multiple games so far.
Yep.
He rates it
showing
that high,
how much.
and I don't blame him. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
for
really,
sure.
really good. So 10k lead for EG. The majority of this is Naga versus Bloodseeker. There's an 8k difference between the two.
Yeah.
So this is not one of the most monumental 10k leads, because you got to consider once again that Naga is not the most net worth efficient hero compared to many others, I would argue. But still, her matchups in this game are so good that I don't think it's...
Do you think there's a
that
point
big
where
of a deal.
she drops off?
Eventually, it's going to become tricky when Bloodseeker gets like 6 slotted and Storm as well, because I think you just get overwhelmed by a rampaging Bloodseeker as well as the Storm with Ags. But it's going to be a while till 9 Pandas get there, and EG have good map control. I think with their next Roche, they could potentially be knocking on the second lane of Barracks as well. So I wouldn't worry too much about EG's chances until this goes like super late. And it's not only about the Naga; it's also the fact that Coddle Core just generally doesn't translate into a monster late game compared to, I think, the offlane Brood will have some different utility to offer maybe.
Middle tower is under attack.
See Whisper's just buying utility items, right? He bought the Ags, so they have the Will-O-Wisp, and he's buying Lincolns, so won't be outputting damage. He'll just be a utility hero protecting allies as well as creating chaos. Bakaw's gonna try to force EG, or rather 9 Pandas back there. Oh, Solo thought he had the shard there. He does. Why didn't it work?
He bought it too, right?
Wait,
so actually valuing it.
Did it just not work?
I don't know. They were talking about the...
Huh? I feel like I demoed this.
I don't know. Oh, Miero. He's going to get solar bound, but nice avalanche coming out to hold the Kiyotaka in place. He's nullified as well. Huge kill for EG. There's the buyback available for him.
He heals himself. He just gets immediately nullified.
Matthew going in really deep. Charges on 2.
Oh, they're not done yet.
Behind again. Solo. Without his master, I don't know if he can survive. His master buys back, though. Zips on in. Eventually will get there to grab ally. Preventing some damage as Ramsey's forced to try to take it out, but there's the song. The full reset now for EG.
Oh, if they get Kiyotaka again.
Kiyotaka with the dieback nullifier applied, completely surrounded, dieback. And Solo nowhere near. He's going to get whipped into the next life. Terrible butler services from him. Both cores dead for 9 Pandas, and it's going to be more than that. GG's called, and EG take the series 2-1. That means 9 Pandas are going to have a very tough time making it to top.